Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Whole Being Healing podcast. I am Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing and co-creator of Lisa and Maura's Magical Mystery School for Whole Being Healers and co-creator of Whole Being Healing, along with my soul sister here, Maura.
Yes, I'm Marleon S., and along with my husband, Keith Leon S., I co-authored The Seven Steps to Successful Relationships, our first book. And since then, it's just been magic and awesomeness. And especially since I connected with my beautiful self-healing soul sister, Lisa, and created the Magical Mystery School and Whole Being Healing, and just really excited to be doing this beautiful work and excited to be here today to connect with our beautiful guest, Deepal. We connected with her through a TV series called Navigating the Clickety Clack that we were all featured in, and that was a lot of fun. And I know you're doing some great work, and I'm just looking forward to diving in and being able to find out more about it and connect with you because you're such a beautiful soul.
Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be such a wonderful conversation. I'm really excited about it and about being here with both of you.
Thank you so much. So, Dipal Shah is a former biochemist turned medical intuitive and founder of Ananda for Life, who taught at the Omega Institute alongside Brad Yates and Ken Honda. Dipal spent years in pharmaceutical sales before discovering that the medical system is designed to keep you dependent, not healthy. After her own health struggles led her to energy medicine, she developed a practical, science-backed approach that doesn't require you to quit your life, meditate for hours, or become spiritually perfect. So over the past decade, she's helped over 6,000 men and women in 92 countries break free from stress, chronic pain, and the feeling of being too sensitive.
Nice. So, Deeple, our mission focuses on shifting from fear to love and activating your ability to set and aligning with your soul purpose. And so we love to ask our guests to share about your journey, your path that has led you to the point you're at now in living your soul purpose. So would you
Mm,
like to share about that?
I would love to share about that. And I really love the fact that we are aligning to our soul's purpose and moving from fear to love. When we align to our soul's purpose, that naturally happens. And for me, it happened in 2015 or so, 2014, 2015. I was having tremendous health problems. And I was also losing my purpose, which I never thought that would happen because I loved the pharmaceutical field. I was doing so well. I was in the corporate world. I was always winning awards. I was eating well. They really feed us well. And just talking to different people every single day and impacting patients with your medication. And I thought that that was the only way to heal. So I was like, oh, yeah, I've got this for you and I've got that for you. And I lived that way for 12 years until my own health problems I didn't have answers to, doctors didn't have answers for, and I was on a search. And one of the things that really came up strong for me was was a deep rooted element of my 10-year-old child. It was an experience that my parents didn't understand. They told me to let it go. So I did without knowing what it means at the age of 10. But at that time, to me, it meant forget about it. It's over. Let's move on. Then it happened again as an adult, and the memories started to appear back, and it was affecting my work. It was affecting how I felt about myself. And I was depressed. I was having panic attacks as I'm driving from office to office. And again, I brought it up to my parents, and they just said, let it go. It's done. It was years ago. Forget about it. And once again, this time I just couldn't because as an adult, you know better now, right? And at this time, I wanted justice. sometimes we hold on to things because we don't find peace and freedom with what we experience, and we hold on to it. So when people hear, let it go, it usually makes them feel worse rather than better. Because if they could, they would, right? It's so easy if we could. And this is actually why I started doing the work I do now. And I stepped into my aligned soul purpose, which kind of happened by accident because I was looking for natural healing modalities. And at the time when I was looking, my younger child, well, the younger one, she was picking up stones and talking to stones and trees and all kinds of things. And I was like, what is
Mm.
going on? And so I kind of delve into that and realized that there's something called energy healing and energy medicine. And I fell in love with it. And now I help women break the emotional bonds so that they can make their better decisions for themselves, their families, and have more confidence without the self-sabotage. And before this, I was, all corporate, and now I feel like I'm happier. Every single day I wake up with a smile on my face. I know exactly how to manage my energy, and that is so important when it comes from the things that are scary, because right now our world is a little scary. But where can we find that love and that alignment? And that's what we need to do at this time, especially.
Absolutely. Yeah. So many people are scared of so many things because all those things are just being pushed at us 24/7. And, what do we do? And I love it that you went from, oh, let's just give them a pill
Exactly. I
to
mean, I
realizing,
realized, yeah, I mean, I realized more that people were really struggling, but I thought I was helping them. And I didn't realize it until I intentionally went inwards within myself, recognizing that we're just masking symptoms. We're not helping people, and when I realized that, that's when everything changed. And the funny thing is, and you're going to find this hysterical, my husband's a doctor.
oh my.
So we've got a neurologist on one side, okay, and then here's the energy medicine practitioner on the other side. So you could just imagine the conversations in our home.
Yeah, they kind of go together. Neurology and
Uh,
energy medicine. If you look at it in a certain way.
right, let's tell him that.
Ah, it's like, what is she doing over there?
I think he's gotten used to it after so many years. He's like, oh God, she's cleaning the house again. And he's learned to really accept it. And I love the fact that he's embracing it. He's not just accepting it, he's embracing me for who I am. And that supports me in aligning to my soul even more. So,
Nice. Nice.
Wow.
You're helping people, which is important.
exactly, exactly. This is the work I love doing, and more so than I ever did before. So, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Wow. So, what was it like to let go of your career in pharmaceutical sales?
Uh,
Just like
it
all of a
wasn't
sudden, did you
easy.
just kind of all of a sudden just go, yep, I'm done. Okay, now I'm going to do something new. What was that
I
journey?
get yeah, I get this asked all the time, like, how was it? And it took me 2 years to accept the fact that I need to let it go. And it was very hard because I felt like I was losing my identity. And when
Mhm.
we start to let go things in our lives, whether it's certain relationships, and that is a relationship, right? It's a relationship with our job, but relationships with people, or even let go certain things that we're eating. We're so, we like eating chocolate. It's hard to let go of chocolate, at least for me, right? Or coffee, like even the simple things, letting them go, it can be very, very, very heartbreaking. And you lose your identity, and when you come into terms with who you are, then it's easier to let go. But until you do that work and realize that that is not your identity, we are a light being and we have purposes. I don't feel like we have one sole purpose. We have multiple purposes. And one of your greatest purpose is being in the present, being in the now, and just embodying what is. And if we
Yeah.
can do that, that leads to a greater purpose, right? It's like we say, okay, start out small. If you have this bigger goal, start out small and you'll get to that. Well, it's the same thing with purpose, right? So for me, letting go my job, my identity was one of the hardest things. But once I accepted it, and that is when I made that call to my manager and I said, I'm leaving. And it was like a sense of peace coming over me when I did that. When you let go, that peace automatically takes over. And it's the most calming thing that you will ever experience. It's
Hmm.
almost like I found my freedom that I had been searching for so long. And I'm so glad I took that action. Letting go takes action. It takes this moment of going within and seeing, okay, am I reacting to things or am I responding to how I feel right now about the situation? Because
Hmm.
when I left my job, it was during the downturn in 2008. And my husband, he goes, Deeple, there are so many people who need a job. If you want to if you want to leave, then do it now and give somebody else that opportunity.
Oh,
Stop
wow.
holding on, you
That was
know?
nice.
Yeah, and it kind of awakened me even more. Like, what are you doing? Why are you holding on so tight? And when we realize that, oh, wow, there's a connection underlying it, there's an emotion underlying it.
Yeah.
Is it my self-worth? Yeah, because that's all I knew when I've been working since I was 17. So
Mm.
all I ever did was work, work, work. And it's not like I already had this plan that, oh, I'm going to be an energy medicine practitioner. I had no idea what energy was at the time. So I was going into this empty space, and that was scary. It's the uncertainty that's scary.
Right? But that's the magic too. Like you got
Exactly.
out of the way, you listened to your body, you listened to your inner guidance, and you put aside the fear and the unknown, well, the fear of the unknown, right? And
Exactly.
like, who am I if I'm not that? But that's curiosity. That's like letting go allows you to have the curiosity to just say, well, what else could be there?
Is there for me. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I did. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. But right now, and like I said before, get in the present moment. And that's what I did. The day I left, I said, okay, now I could get present and start working towards my health to greater health without the doctors, without Western medicine and all the supplements and pills. And I'm not saying that there's not a place for medication, there is. However, for me at that time, it wasn't the place, and I had to figure it out myself. And it took a very long time to do that. It took like 6 years, and now I'm helping people figure it out in 6 months.
Nice.
Because I offer a way to heal yourself and become more intuitive. And we all have these beautiful intuitive abilities, but we just don't use them to our potential.
Yep. And what type of people are you working with?
I work with empaths, highly sensitives. I work with intuitives, a lot of teachers, professionals, celebrities, people from all walks of life who want to strengthen their intuition and use it, whether it's at work or, whether it's at home. You can use your intuition to make everyday decisions and manifest the things that you want in your life. That's what intuition holds. That's the power of it.
Mm, yeah.
Beautiful. When you make that space for yourself and you start opening up to that guidance and allowing the guidance to flow through, to get quiet enough to be able to hear the guidance. And it's not always hearing the guidance with our ears,
Mhm.
right?
No,
It doesn't
not
always
at
come in
all.
like, hey, Debo, go do this. It's like hearing
Exactly.
with our bodies to
Yes.
follow those subtle nudges.
And Lisa, you're completely right because I wasn't always intuitive. It's not like I had these gifts when I was little. I didn't even know there was such gifts. We all have intuition. It just depends how strong it is. And at that time, after I left my job and was in the space of nothingness and openness, I wanted to recognize that when I said, "Is there more?" It took me to that place where, hey, you have intuition and you can strengthen it. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to strengthen my healing abilities to help other people. And I couldn't do it without having that strong sense of intuition. And I thought the same thing that maybe it's like that psychic, you always imagine it's the ball, the crystal ball sitting there, and you're like, oh, I got this. But it's nothing like that. Intuition is just so natural. It's that first hit. And unfortunately, we're not taught that. So I was holding on to the fact that, okay, I have to be taught this. There has to be part of the logical mind that has to come in, but it has nothing to do with any of that.
Mm,
When I let that logical mind go,
Mhm.
and my creative mind came in, and I understood that, okay, what is the first hit that you get? That's your answer. Like if you ask yourself a question today, do I need to go on a walk? And you may get a yes or a no. You ask yourself yes or no, right? So if you get a yes, then go. But what many of us do is like we get the yes, but then we're like, well, but I'm too tired, or nobody's going to go with me. Why should I go alone? And you start spiraling, right? And you get yourself out of it. But your
right.
intuition, which is these sensories all over your body, is telling you exactly what to do and what you need,
Yeah.
and we're not using it properly. And so I help women all over the world. I mean, I've helped over 300 women in the last 5 years develop their intuition. And now they're leading their life with their skills versus with logic all the time. They're leading it with their heart and they're aligned to their soul purpose, which is what we're talking about. And they're fearless, which is
Mm,
beautiful.
nice.
Right.
Wow. So you get people to be fearless.
Oh yeah, confidence and fearless. Well, one of the things, right? Like if you think about it, what do most women do? What do most women have that is keeping them small? It's the self-sabotage, the self-talk, the
Mhm.
judgment, the criticism, right? That's how it's creating this ball of self-sabotage. And when we self doubt and we criticize ourselves, we're constantly making ourselves smaller. Even if you're like a leader in your organization or in your community, you're going to constantly do that because it's just a program, it's a pattern
Right.
that has started from childhood, and you haven't let go that pattern. And the reason you haven't let go is because you haven't recognized that pattern. You haven't brought your awareness to that pattern.
Yep.
And so when we talk about letting go, and we can't make those conscious choices if we don't understand how to bring awareness to these patterns that we don't even know that are there. So we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but I do have a free masterclass coming up that I want to invite people to, and it's called Stop Reacting, Start Responding, A Path to Conscious Choice, because we
Mm,
all have choices of what we want to hold on to, what we want to let go. And one of the things that we as women really need to work on is stop self-sabotaging ourselves, because
mhm.
we are powerful and we've got superpowers that we don't even realize that exist within us because we haven't given that chance to open ourselves up to that.
Yeah, and I love what you said about, you know, all of us have had that, that voice in our head and that feeling of not enough or whatever it is, the self-judgment, the self-talk. And we each feel like, oh, it's just me, right?
Yes.
And
It
we
is.
see
Yeah,
people who are, I love how you mentioned, even people who are really successful. And we think, oh, those people have it all together, and
exactly.
I'm the one who doesn't, right? And I
Yeah,
remember in our book publishing company when Keith and I started working with some really powerful, just vibrant and successful people. And I was a little intimidated at first. I was like,
yeah,
well, how do I talk to these, and they were doctors and things. And I was like, how do I talk to these people? And Keith was like, they're just people.
exactly.
And as we worked with them, I found out right away, and especially when you have people writing books, you find out they all have the same insecurity
Yes,
about, well, what do I really have to say? And because when you go to write a book, you're doing something usually different than what you've already been doing, right? It's like putting yourself out there, just like you're talking about, being willing to get to let go of something that you're used to in order to possibly discover something amazing or help other people discover something amazing that you have that you can share with them, the gifts that you have that you can share. And when I realized that every author had that same insecurity, I was just like, wow,
yeah,
and then I was able to support them through it. So, the way that you can support people when you have the experience of knowing you're not alone, you're not the only one who's felt this way.
yeah. And a lot of times we do feel alone, but we do have the support of each other and the understanding. I feel like most women understand each other because they're all going through the same thing. For example, I was talking to my friend about menopause. And so many women, when you start talking about something, everybody comes out of the woodworks. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm going through the same thing. And that's where our connection is. That's where we also work as a soul family, you know, to inspire each other and help each other realize that there is hope and there is when you believe that things are going to get better for you and they can and they're going to work out, they will, because you have that support, you have that community. And when you speak up, which a lot of women don't do, they keep it all inside. That's why they feel alone, because
Yep.
they don't speak up. And that's one thing that we also need to let go is our ability to hold things inside because you feel like, again, you're the only one going through it or you're ashamed of it, right? I mean, so many women who are going through menopause, they're having symptoms that they are ashamed of. And once you accept what's happening with your body or what's happening in your life, and you can talk about it and share the experience, because guess what? We're all learning from each other. That's what we're here for. And when
Mhm.
you speak up, you allow yourself to let go. Even when you share, you let go. And when you share, you'll notice that you find the sense of peace within you because you've expressed it. It's a part of your expression. Your voice is your expression. So the more you learn to use it, the more you're going to find that freedom and you're going to be able to let go what you're holding on to in your body because your body's constantly compartmentalizing all of your experiences, all of your emotions, all of your situations, stories, everything. And we don't need to hold on to this. I mean, we have a choice. So choose to let go and it will happen.
Yeah, it's such a powerful um, realization because, like, when we don't know how to let go, we bottle everything up inside, we keep it hidden, we keep it suppressed, and it stays locked in ourselves. And then
Mm.
when it finally can't stay locked in ourselves anymore, our cells start to change, and we go, oh no, there's something wrong with my body.
Exactly.
No, there's nothing wrong with your body. You've got a bunch of stuff that's still locked up in there that is needing to be expressed so that it can be let go.
Yes. Yes. I mean, our body's magnificent, right?
Right?
Um, and when we realize that our body is part of us, like there are certain, here's what I'm trying to say is that yes, we have our soul, but we have a vehicle that drives it. and that's our body. And when we can create a better relationship with our body, then those diseases and those chronic illnesses that we are either worried about having at a later age or have in the moment, we need to create that relationship with the body and realize, what are you holding on to, body, that I need to let go right now? And
Mhm.
when we ask ourselves this simple question every single day, this will shift how your body works for you, and it will become a better vehicle for you. And it just takes that one question, but most people don't ask that.
Right. And I love what you said about coming together and getting support from each other. That's so important. Lisa and I have found that with each other and with the people we work with, it's the same thing. It's like we all need to come together at this point. And when you can find something that you can resonate with, when you can feel, oh yeah, she's speaking to me, like that's what's going on with me, and you don't already have support, get it,
Yeah. And, a lot of times, we need support in different things. For example, my older daughter, she is, she was going through a phase of trying to understand her sexuality. So she was trying to figure this out for a very long time. And as a parent, sometimes you have a very hard time trying to help them understand this too, because maybe you don't understand it. But when she did step into her power and said, you know what? Yes, I am gay, and she accepted that, we learned to accept that as well. And it took a while because we had to learn to let go our own beliefs. And sometimes our beliefs will get the most of us, and a sensitive topic like this can really get the best of you, and it can break families. And I've seen it again and again, especially in my culture. And it took us a very long time, but it was it was okay. We started to learn to let go our own beliefs gradually. It didn't happen overnight. And a lot of times when it comes to letting go, it doesn't happen overnight. Just because we snap our fingers doesn't mean that, a carriage is going to show up. But what it does mean is that at least we're willing to take action to work towards it. And
Mm,
right now, my daughter's getting married this July to her partner, and we are so happy to celebrate her, you
mm,
know? And I look back and I look back at this entire situation, and I'm like, what was I holding on to so tight? Was it just the beliefs, or was it my fear? And, Maura, you said this is all about fear to love. And when I started to tap into that, everything started to shift for me. Because when
mm.
you come out of the fear, you can find that love can flourish in your relationships, and you can let go those old beliefs that aren't even yours, probably. These are old
Exactly.
patterns of your ancestors, your, generations before you. But we have to recognize those. And maybe you need somebody to help you recognize that. So let me be by your side if you're somebody who needs to understand what's happening in your life.
Mm. Wow, that's beautiful, sharing a vulnerable experience like that. And we find that when we're working with people that, and I'm sure you do too, that people find themselves willing to be more vulnerable than they thought they could be, and they can go deeper than they thought they could go and have breakthroughs that they didn't know they could have just by showing up, just by being
Exactly.
willing to connect with others and support each other. Because
Yes.
when you're watching someone else be vulnerable, all you have for them is love,
Yes.
right? And so then you realize, oh, okay, so maybe all they have for me is love right now.
Exactly. And vulnerability is such an important piece of our own well-being and health. It's because we're not being vulnerable, we stay stuck.
Hmm.
And when you step into that, and that took me a long time too. And we have these experiences in our lives. They're not just lessons we need to learn. They are experiences that we need to understand, that we need to get a better understanding of who we are and identify who we are, meaning that coming back into our own identity of light and love rather than being in the 3D, you know?
Mhm.
Absolutely. There's so much fear in the world, that is being projected all day, every day, kind of, on purpose. And
Yeah.
because when we engage with that fear, we start to shut down. And as soon as we start shutting things down, then we start to shut off that flow of love that is always coming to us, that the living life force energy is filled with love. And when we're open and vulnerable, that can flow to us and through us. But because we have all been taught to shut down, don't say anything,
Yeah.
just keep it to yourself, big boys don't cry, all of those things that we're taught
Yeah.
that keep us shut down. So it's such important work that you're doing to help people open back up, to realize that, we don't have to walk around in states of fear.
I think we stay shut down because it's been ingrained in us. And you're right, Lisa, like that is coming from childhood experiences. And even as an adult, you can shut down your voice, you can shut down and become an introvert, and expression becomes very difficult.
Yeah.
And then trying to create that and be more creative, it can be very hard for somebody to do that. And then seeing everybody else around them having the things that they are wishing they were like, this is where again, judgment and criticism for ourselves come in. But if we could just take a moment and really accept ourselves, whether you are an introvert, whether you do shut down in conversations, if we could just bring awareness to that and say, okay, this is what I do, but what would I like to see? And then work your way to how am I going to get there? It doesn't take big actions, it takes small actions to get where you want. I used to shut down all the time because when we were young, we were told to respect our elders. You never speak back, you never speak up. If you speak up, you're speaking back. And that's disrespectful. So when I got married, I would never speak up. If my husband and I got into an argument, I would never speak up as to what was really bothering me and how it made me feel. I had to learn that, and it took me 15 years. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. But it took me 10 to 15 years to stop shutting myself down and opening up because nobody knows what you're thinking. Nobody understands you. Nobody knows your story. If you want to create a different story for yourself, you can do it. You have a choice, but you have to start somewhere. And that somewhere is the awareness of what you want in your life.
Yeah. And
Yep.
to recognize what's actually possible.
Exactly.
We haven't really been allowed to dream or to recognize that we live in a universe of infinite possibilities and
Exactly.
that we can choose a lot of those possibilities.
There,
Like our
there,
choices are not limited.
exactly. There's the reason we say, ask and you shall receive is because that is true. I ask the universe all the time for what I want. And sometimes my husband's like, well, how did that happen? I'm like, I talk to the universe.
Right.
And it could be God, universe, whatever, source, whatever you name it, it doesn't matter. But talk it out loud. And there's a vibration and a frequency to everything, every thought, every thing you say, and how you are in your own being. There is a vibration and frequency that we all carry. And I'm not saying that, oh, you got to be positive all the time to get what you want. That's not it. But that self-awareness and knowing that you have a choice in your life for what you want, that is where it all starts for how you're going to create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where you put your focus. Because you're going to create it either way. You're going to either create what you
Exactly.
don't want or what you want. Why
And I'd
not create
rather
what
have
you
what I
want?
want than what I don't want. Because a lot of times you're right, Maura. Like people will say, oh, I don't want this and I don't want that. Well, the universe doesn't know any different. It doesn't know do not. What the universe does know is what it hears of all the things that you do want. So why not just put out the positive, the things that you want that are going to enrich your life,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I
Yeah.
learned that the hard way. It was not like I woke up one morning being like, okay, I'm just going to be positive. I had to work on my thoughts. Our thoughts are very powerful. And some people feel like they can't control their thoughts. Their mind is constantly chattering. But when you start looking deeper at your thoughts, you can stop them in their tracks. Or if the thought has already completed, you could go back and change the thought,
Mm.
right? Sometimes we're like, oh, well, I already thought it, so I can't change it. It's almost like, oh, I already spoke it, so I can't change it, or I already wrote it or did it and I can't change it. But you can. You can change anything that you want. And thoughts is something that I teach my clients is that change your thought because that will change your reality.
Yep.
And it's not just changing them, but become aware of them first and then change them. And that will become your reality.
Yes, absolutely. That's been my experience. And you mentioned something that you're going to be inviting people to, and you're really focusing on letting go right now. Um, is there any other? But I mean, you already shared a lot of great ideas and concepts and techniques, but is there anything else you want to share about letting go?
Yeah, start this, keep it simple. If you're listening, think of a moment from today or even recently where something bothered you. Not the biggest thing, just small that stuck with you. And maybe there's a message that didn't sit well. Maybe there's a tone in somebody's voice that you weren't really happy with, or a moment where you felt dismissed. And when you have that, don't analyze it. Just bring that moment to your mind and ask yourself, what did I feel in that moment? Not what you thought, but what you actually felt. And give it a second. Most people will notice something like frustration or anxiety or angry, or maybe they even felt hurt. Instead of pushing that away or reacting from it, just acknowledge it. Okay, that's what was there. And you're not trying to judge it, you're just noticing it. And then ask yourself, if I didn't react from that, what would I have said or done differently? And let the answer come up. Let it sit. Create a gap. And that's where your choice is. That's what most people miss. And more practice catching that, the easier it's going to become to actually let things go instead of carrying them. Because most people skip straight from trigger to reaction. So what we're doing is trigger, awareness, choice.
Mm.
That's where letting go starts. And so I do want to invite you to stop reacting, start responding, a path to conscious choice. It is a free masterclass. And I'm going to be sharing my number one secret. It's a secret muscle in your body that's causing the reactions. And I'm also going to be sharing my 2-second response technique. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And if what we talked about today resonates with you, I definitely want you to take that next step and join our free masterclass coming up. March 25th. It starts. We're having three or four classes, so you could choose your date of when it's possible for you.
Fantastic.
Nice.
And if you're watching, make sure you check out the show notes because the links will be there in the show notes.
So you're actually making letting go fun, it sounds like.
I want to. I want to. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be a burden. It doesn't have to hold so much weight on you.
Awesome.
And I just want to make it fun. Life should be fun. And I think as adults, we've forgotten how to have fun with all the responsibilities, and you can let go and have fun at the same time.
Yeah. I could tell you're really passionate about it and that you do have fun. So yeah, uh, if you resonate with Deeple today and you're feeling like, wow, she's totally describing me, and that actually does sound fun.
Come
Or it
and
would
join
be
me.
nice, or it would be nice to allow some fun, to let go and allow fun to happen. Then yeah, check out her beautiful event. Not event. How long did you say it was?
It is an hour and a half,
Oh,
roughly.
nice.
Hmm.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought I missed it, but I didn't.
No, you're good.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds really good. So what else, Lisa?
I don't know. I think we covered an awful lot today, and you had so many beautiful gems to share with us today. It was a beautiful conversation, and we just really want everybody to out there to recognize that we're not meant to struggle and try to survive life, and it's not supposed to be heavy and difficult and cumbersome. We're really designed to thrive. We're meant to be joyful, but the external world doesn't always send us those messages. In fact, it really never sends us those messages unless them out in settings like this, where there are those of us who are really trying to help heal the world, to start remembering that we are these grand beings of light, and life can be beautiful and joyful and fun. So thank you so
And
much for helping us to remember that today, Deepal.
yes, and thank you for all the work that you and Maura do. I mean, this is amazing. I've had so much fun being here, and this is truly a wonderful connection. So I really want to thank you guys for everything that you do.
Aw.
That's right back at
Yeah,
you.
we each other, right? And we're so glad that you came and shared. Yeah, we look forward to connecting with you more.
Yes.
Yep. And just like
Have
you said, it
yeah, have
takes
fun, everyone.
community.
And absolutely. The more we come together, the more we can create the life that we want. So, yeah, thanks so much for coming. And thanks everyone for watching today. And we'll see you next time. And until then,
Happy
have happy
healing.
healing. Bye.